Hi everyone, just let you know we're going to be starting in roughly 8 minutes or so, just giving a chance for people to get in. The work that's on Padlet, which the link's in the description for if you want, you don't need that for the lesson, okay? That's for work that you can do after the lesson. So if you're there, just if you want pen, some paper, and we'll get started in about 7-8 minutes. Hi guys, right, so this is our first live lesson that we're going to be doing today. First of all, hopefully not too many, hopefully we'll be back at school sooner rather than later. What I'm going to do with being the first video, I'll let you know how they're going to work, so any in the future you know what you're doing. Okay, so every Monday is going to be our SPAG lesson, so we're going to be looking at something to do with spelling, punctuation or grammar, and I'll get into what exactly we're looking at today in a little bit. That work then can, in the lesson, you don't need any work for the lesson unless I say so you don't need to go and download any worksheets, anything like that. And what I will do is the work that we have on our Padlet, the description is in the, the link is in the description. So if you click on that, you can go to that, you can get worksheets. That's work that will follow the lesson. So it'll be worksheets on what we've learned in the lesson. So you can do those after the lesson. Now, you might see me glance over here every now and again. It's just because I've got my notes over there, make sure I'm going over everything. Yes, there's a lot of you live here today, but if you can't get along with one of the lessons, the videos are going to stay up on the YouTube channel. So if you're late, if you're doing something, or you're watching another live lesson or anything like that, that's absolutely fine. You can watch the lesson back if you just come to the YouTube channel. Now, I know there's a lot of children from my class in the chat I've seen already, and it's great to see you catching up. Okay, it's one of the main reasons why I want to do one of these lessons as well, is so that you keep in contact with all your friends from school. But what I'm going to ask you to do is, you have the chat on the side. If you want to chat and catch up with people, brilliant, use it for that. And what I'm going to say is, if you need any help with the lesson, rather than the chat, I want you to use it in the comment, because obviously a lot of people are going to be chatting and talking in the comment and in the chat section, and we might miss them because it'll be myself checking, and some of the other teachers from year 5 and 6, they're going to be checking as well. So if you need any help, they can give you that help. But what I'm going to say is, if you comment on the video, if you're struggling with some of the worksheets, if you don't understand something that I go over, we will get back to you either during the lesson, if we've got time, if the other teachers are watching, or after the lesson. We'll get back to you. So if you need any help, don't put in the chat, because there's that many things coming through, we probably miss them. And I have seen the amount of people watching there, how many are we at the minute? It's about 123, which is more than we have in our year 5-6. So if you're new and don't go to St. Bennett's, hello and welcome. I hope these really help you as well. Okay, after the video as well, I will stay live. I might not be on the camera, I might keep popping up every now and again to answer the comments, but I will stay here in case you need any help. So if you write comments and I'm still here in the live lesson, I'll try and help you out on camera. Obviously, if you're watching a replay or you're doing work afterwards, if you do need help, if you put it as a comment on the video, I'll have to obviously try and help you, or the teacher will help you with a comment. We also, on our Padlet as well, there's a section where you can put some comments if you're struggling with any work. If there is anything you miss or you don't understand as you're going on, obviously I can't read the chat as I'm going through and I'm doing the lesson. So don't go back or worry about anything like that. Just leave it. The video will be on so you can re-watch it again. We'll give you a hand, so don't worry about anything about that. So we'll get started with the work today. Now, it's been a while since we've been in school, so we're just going to start with some nice easy things to ease ourselves in. And what I'm going to do on a Monday is I'm going to give you a word of the week. Now, there's loads of great websites out there like Vocabulary Ninja and stuff like that, where you can get words of the day. But what I'm going to do is every Monday I'm going to give you a word of the week, and this week the word is jubilant. And that word you can use in your work as you're doing any work, if you're writing stories, if you're doing any English work, anything like that. Try and use it, because the way that you remember a word and you put it in your own vocabulary is by using it over and over again. Okay, so try and use this word not just when you're writing anything, that could be when you're talking to people. So it's jubilant, which is an adjective, which obviously we know is a word that describes a noun, gives us more information about a noun. And the definition, it means a feeling of great happiness. So he was jubilant, means he was really, really happy. Okay, obviously because we've got jubilant, we know we've got other words that we know from there. So we've got jubilation, we've got words like that where we can add our prefixes and suffixes to change them, and if you see those words, you know that's going to have something to do with that. Okay, so if there was a great jubilation, you know it's some sort of event where there's lots of happiness in there. So remembering this as a root word is really important as well. A synonym, so remember synonyms are words that mean the same thing. Could be triumphant, so jubilant, triumphant means similar things. And an antonym, which is a word that means the opposite, is despondent. That's a really good word. I learned that from Championship Manager. My players get despondent when I wasn't playing them. So that means the opposite of that. So someone really, really sad. So you're always really despondent. Okay, so that's word. Now, it's up to you what you want to do with that word. You can try and remember it. You could write them down every week in a book and try and put them into those stories and stuff as you're going along. Completely up to you how to do this. Okay. One thing I didn't mention at the start as well is all the work and all these lessons that we're doing. We're not expecting everyone to be able to do all the work all the time. We know it's going to be hard at home, and we know it's going to be hard for your parents to help you or anything like that, because they're doing work from home as well. So this work is all there to help you. Now, if you can do all the work that we put up on our Padlet for the week, brilliant. You're going to give yourself a real good chance of not falling behind and keeping up with everything, especially if in year 6 you're getting ready to go to secondary school. But if you can't, don't worry about it, okay? You've not got to get anxious or upset or nervous or anything about getting all the work done, okay? That's really, really important. So that's our word of the week. So that's the first little thing. Haven't really used your brains yet. I'm going to write some sentences on the board. Okay. As I'm writing these sentences, I am going to underline one of the words. And what I want you to do is to try and work out. You can put in the chat if you want. Have a contest. I want you to work out whether these words are being used as a noun or being used as a verb. Okay. So remember, a noun is a word that is a name of something, a thing, a place, an animal, okay, something like that. A verb is a doing word, an action, something that you're doing. So, certain words aren't always the same. So I'm going to give you a little example. So the word run, okay, if I said I went for a run, okay, it's at run, it's something that you did, okay, we're using it as a noun, okay. But if we said he ran, okay, it's been used as a, he's running, we're using it as a verb. So words aren't specifically nouns or verbs until they're placed into sentences. You always remember that. So you can't just see a word, okay, and have a look and work out what it is. We'll see when we do these sentences. So your first sentence, open the important, and by the way, anyway, if you can't hear me sound, if you can't see because the words are too small or anything like that, let me know in the chat. When I'm doing these things, I'll be able to have a quick look at the chat comments and see what they say. Open this email and read it carefully. So that word we're looking at there is email, okay? So is that word email, is it a noun or verb? You can put it in the chat. Okay, put email and put N for noun, V for verb. Okay, if you're watching back, just in your head, to make a note of it, say what you think it is. And our second sentence, David cast the red and green float onto the lake. Okay, so David cast the red and green float onto the lake. Okay. Don't know whether you can see your 5-6. Is me handwriting better or worse? Have I been practicing? You know. So those are the first two. Okay. Email and float. What do you think? Let's have a quick look at the chat. Okay, so see a lot of right answers there. Some really good work. Let's have a look there. Well done, Amelie, you've got it right. Well done, Lucy. Well done, Joseph. Well done, Imogen. Well done, Little Mitch. You know who Little Mitch is, well done. Fish for life. I'm assuming that's Drew from what I've seen in the chat. Well done, Drew. You got it right. So, if we look at those two words, we have this one here. Open the important email. It is a noun, okay? And we have the green float. it is a noun, if I can do an N properly. Just been talking about my handwriting, okay? So yeah, it is a noun, okay? So if he was emailing someone, that would be a verb, but it's the important email, okay? And lastly, we have the red and green float, okay? Now, the easiest way to spot a noun or a verb is if we have a look before it, we will normally have, not far back, a determiner, okay? Now, a determiner tells us something about the noun, okay? So which noun it is: a email, the email, an email. We could have 3 emails, we could have some emails. That will be the determiner. If we've got a determiner, it means it's likely. I always say likely because there's every now and again in the English language there's always some things that trip me up, because the English language is a very tricky one. It's likely to be a noun. Okay. Sometimes you might have adjectives in there, so you're describing. So look, we've got our determiner, and then we've got some adjectives, so they're describing the noun. Okay. So sometimes we have adjectives in the middle there, but we'll always have a determiner sometime before, and that'll tell us that it is a noun. Okay. So let's rub these out. It's stuck behind me, couldn't find it. And we'll do 2 more sentences, and then we'll move on with the main part of the lesson. Okay. Thought I might catch a few people out there in the chat. You look like you did really well. So some of you must have been practicing over Easter, doing the work that you've been sent home with. I think I need another board rubber. So we're going to have glue the envelope closed. And we're going to stick with that one. And the word that I want you to look for there is glue. Second sentence. After an injury, it is important to ice the area. And the word there that I'm looking for is ice. Okay. So we got glue the envelope closed, and we're looking at glue. Is that a noun or a verb? Put it in the chat. You might want to put glue and then NOV. And then after an injury, it is important to ice the area. And we've got ice here. Okay. Is that a verb or a noun? Let's have a look what we are seeing. Okay. Ooh, scroll down. Good. Some of you got that first one right there. I can see that the ice has tricked a couple of people. Remember, a word isn't a noun or a verb until it's in the sentence. Have a look at the sentence. Okay. Have a look at that ice. Okay, so some good answers there. So, first one, glue the envelope down. That is a verb. Okay, look, at the start of the sentence, no determiner. Okay, so it is glue the envelope closed. It's something you are doing, you are gluing it closed. So it is a verb, it's a doing word. After an injury, it is important to ice the area. I saw this tricked a couple of people out there. Ice here is a verb as well. Okay, to is not a determiner. And a lot of times you can find verbs, obviously this one hasn't, so it's not a rule that you can use all the time, but they will have to before. If a word has to before, okay, it can tend to be verb, to run, to ice, okay? So what to ice the area means is going to put ice on the area. It's not saying, it doesn't say put ice on the area, okay? It is saying it is to ice the area. It's an action, something someone there you are doing. Okay, so hopefully that's warmed our brains up a little bit. Now, what we are going to do is going to move on to the main thing that we're looking at today, and the thing that the work is going to be on. Okay, so we're going to look at two different types of phrase today. Okay, we're going to have a look at expanded noun phrases, and we're going to have a look at prepositional phrases. Obviously, before we look at them, we need to know what a phrase is. So a phrase is a small group of words, and I'm sure you probably all knew that. But what you need to remember is a phrase doesn't contain a verb. Okay, so a phrase is a small group of words that doesn't contain a verb. Okay, as soon as a verb is included in that group of words, that tends to become a clause. Okay, we look at them in another lesson, but we're just looking at phrases. So no verb, small group of words, not a word on its own, small group of word. Okay, there's lots of different types of phrases, and you'll have looked at a lot in school, or you'll be coming to look at it a lot, or we'll be looking at other ones. Okay, you probably all looked at adverbial phrases by now, but like I said, what we're going to look at today are expanded noun phrases and prepositional phrases. So the first one we're going to look at is expanded noun phrases. Okay, but obviously to know what an expanded noun phrase is, we need to look at what a noun phrase is. Now, what I want you to remember when we look at English, a lot of the time we talk really complicated and long words and technical words for things that are really easy and we know anyway. Okay, so don't panic, think, oh, it sounds really, really difficult. Once I try to explain it, it'll be really, really simple. So first we're going to look at a noun phrase so we can see what an expanded noun phrase is. So a noun phrase is a phrase that contains, so a small group of words with no verb, that contains a determiner and a noun. Okay, sounds complicated, but let's have a look at some. The dog. Okay, the classroom. So when you say group of words, can basically mean two. A castle. So all of those three there, okay, are noun phrases. We have a determiner here at the start, the and a. Okay, we could have three dogs, and we could have some castles. We could have many classrooms. Okay, we've got our determiner and our word. We might look at determiners later if it's something that people find difficult, but don't worry about it. You can have a look online as well. There'll be loads of stuff up there on determiners. And then we have a noun. So dog, classroom, castle, pencil, table, headphones, plane, paper, chair. You can see I'm looking around my class, not my classroom, well, my classroom for now, but I'm looking around my office here and I see lots of different things there. So that is a noun phrase, simple as that. Okay, determiner and a noun. Okay, but when we're writing, and when we're writing stories and we're creatively writing, well, if we just include noun phrases, okay, our writing's not going to be very good, because what we need to, and what you're always taught to, is to start to include adjectives in order to make the writing sound better. And that's basically what an expanded noun phrase is. It's putting adjectives in to make your noun phrases sound better, and put in lots of more detail. So I'll give you some examples. I'll use the same ones here. So if we've got the dog, okay, we could change that to the, let's think, cute black dog. Okay. One thing when I notice out there, remember your comma when you're doing a list of adjectives. So I'll put two adjectives in there. The cute black dog. This, okay, you drop my pen. This is now an expanded noun phrase. We have our noun phrase still there, the dog, but we've put adjectives in. Remember our rule is no verbs. So if I wrote the cute black dog ran, that isn't an expanded noun phrase because it has a verb in. Okay, so this is an expanded noun phrase. I now have two adjectives in there. Okay, no verbs, my determiner still, and my noun still. So that's an expanded noun phrase. Let's change. Oh, the classroom. Let's think what classrooms will be like now. I'm going to rub this castle out and I'll put it back on we go. So, the lifeless, silent, could have put peaceful, empty classroom. So this one, I've included another adjective. Oh, a full stop there at the end. No. Come on. If we're saying that these are sentences, I'll put my capital letters in at the start. Okay. So, the lifeless, silent, empty classroom. Okay, I can't put a full stop there, I just realised because it's not a full sentence yet because I haven't got a verb in. The lifeless, silent, empty classroom. I've still got my commas in, separating my adjectives up. And if we have a look there, I've still got my noun phrase, the classroom, but I've put adjectives in. So these green ones here are my expanded noun phrases. Okay, and the last one I had was the castle. So we'll change that one. I'm going to do something slightly different there. So what I'm going to do is the dark. Think of a good word. Foreboding. Foreboding means something that it's you coming up to it, it's making you nervous because it's really big and it's really sort of, if you were coming up to a big castle and you were doing something in there, it's making you nervous. Okay, the big foreboding castle. But what I want to include here is something after the phrase as well. Okay, I could put, let's say, with windows like dark eyes. So you can put descriptions after. I'm going to put a slash there because I could put with windows on the front as well. I could put that. Let's put those two there so I can just show you something. Okay, so the dark foreboding castle with windows like dark eyes, or the dark foreboding castle with windows on the front. So I've added some description after as well. So I've added adjectives before, but I'll also add some description afterwards. Remember the key rule. I'll keep saying this, but it's just so you remember it. And if you at the end of the lesson you think, oh, my Springs went that over and over again, I've done the right thing because you remembered it. No verbs, okay? There's still no verbs in here. No one is doing anything. The castle isn't doing anything at all. There's no one walking up to it or anything like that. It is still a phrase, okay? So it's a lot longer than this one, okay? But it still doesn't have a verb, so it's still a phrase. So I've still got my noun phrase there, the castle, but I've added my adjectives before, like I had been in the previous two, and I've got some things afterwards. Okay, now these two, okay, are actually what we call prepositional phrases, which is what we're going to look at in a little bit. So don't worry about what these are, okay, because that's what we're going to be looking at next. Okay, so with windows like dark eyes on the front, they're prepositional phrases. You can put those afterwards. Okay, so windows on the front, or you could say the door like a mouth. Okay, so I'm like a simile in there. We're still just describing them. Now, these sentences are great. Okay, these sentences would say are better than these ones. But what I do want to say, when you're doing your writing, don't always think you have to have a really long description of every single little thing. What really, really clever writers do is they understand when they're writing a piece and they really need to describe everything to the reader. Cleverer readers, what they think is, right, this is a point of the story where I want my reader to use their imagination. Because sometimes their imagination can think up things that are better than anything we could describe. So you've got to know when to use them. So short things, sometimes for effect, okay, sometimes they do really work. If you're trying to create suspense and you're writing short sentences, if you're describing everything like this, it's not going to work. So yes, these are great, okay, but the small ones, just the noun phrases, do have their place in writing a lot of the time as well. So I'll give you a couple there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave those three on so that you can see that they're all there. You can see the underline in red is the noun phrase that is still there. And I'm going to put a noun phrase up on the board, and in the comments, okay, I want you to see if you can change it into an expanded noun phrase. Remember, no verb, add adjectives, you can add something afterwards as long as there's no verb in there, like a simile or a prepositional phrase, which we'll look at in a little bit if you know already. So I'm going to put one up on the board, and then I might mention some of the really good ones that I see. So what we're going to start with is just, well, this pen's running out. The monster. That is your noun phrase, okay? Have a go now. have a think in the chat. Okay, can you think of some good expanded noun phrases? Okay, add some adjectives in here. Maybe add something afterwards. Remember, you can't add a verb. And the monster will still have to be in there, your noun phrase. Okay, have a go now, and let's see what you come up with. Okay, just take a while to go through because I understand that there's a little bit of a lag. While we are waiting for that lag, I'll explain the massive fringes because I was supposed to get my hair cut before isolation. Didn't get it done. So this is going to get worse as it goes on. Got some coming through there. Let's have a look there. Jodie, the green slimy monster with yellow eyes. Brilliant. Got green, got slimy in there. And we got one afterwards as well with yellow eyes. Oh, there's Miss Allison. Hello, Miss Allison. See you in the chat there. The colossal ravenous monster, Stephen. Really good. I like those words there. Can you think of putting something on the end there to improve it? Thank you, Mrs. Carthy. I know my handwriting's getting better. I've really tried over Easter. The green slimy monster with big claws. The hideous ferocious monster with dark gloomy fur. Oh, I love that one. Who's that one? Little Mitch. Well done, Little Mitch. The green monster with goo coming out of his mouth. The colossal green monster with big fangs. Brilliant. Okay, you can even go further than that with big fangs. Blood dripping off them or something like that. Really good. The beastly critical monster with ferocious claws. Wonder what they're critical about. I like that one. The jubilant monster screamed. Well done, Evie. Using the word already. Like that one. If it's Evie, I think it is. One's in the family. Okay. So, some really good work there. Okay. I'll have a look at more, obviously, when they're in there. I've seen Miss Allison and Miss Carthy. If you don't know them, the teachers from my school are in the chat. They might want to pick their best and put them in the chat as well. Okay, not putting pressure on you or anything, but a bit of a big thing. Okay, so one thing we're going to move on to is, yes, it's great to use them in our writing, but what we also need to do is when we ask test questions, sometimes we are asked to see whether we can spot a noun phrase, okay? Or might say expanded noun phrase. So it's okay thinking about how to write them, but we also need to know how to spot them. Remember what I said, okay? If you might get a question that says underline the noun phrase or underline the expanded noun phrase in the sentence. Remember, no verb. Remember, you'll have a determiner in there. The, three, his, hers, it, okay? And then you'll have your adjectives in there you might have, okay? So you're describing words, might have one afterwards, and then you will have, obviously, your noun. So I'm going to write a sentence on the board, and what I want you to do, again, in the chat, can you spot the noun phrase? Now, I'm going to give you a clue, okay? So in this sentence, there are two noun phrases and there is one expanded noun phrase. Okay, so after his lunch, the unhappy, oh, that looks like a cue. That's because Mrs. Carthy said my handwriting was good, it's went to pot. The unhappy, grumpy man walked briskly to his office. Okay, so in that sentence, there are two noun phrases and there is one expanded noun phrase. Can you find them? Okay, so in the chat, you might want to write what the noun phrase is. Okay, so if you think the noun phrase is the football, obviously I know it's not there, I'm not giving you the answers, I'm not that stupid. Okay, the football, just write the football, noun phrase. Okay, in the chat, let's see who can get the 3 of them. Okay, let's see who gets them first. So let's have a look. Let's see, someone's found the expanded noun phrase already. Brilliant. Hi to everyone who's saying hi. Sorry, I can't see the chat while I'm teaching. Remember, tell me whether it's the expanded noun phrase or it's the noun phrase, okay? Someone else has got the expanded noun phrase. Who can find the noun phrases? And there's 2. I actually think that the 2 noun phrases might be a little bit hard to find because everyone's finding the expanded one. Ooh, some people are getting close there. Okay. Because lots of people have got the expanded noun phrase, I'm going to tell you that one. It's the unhappy, grumpy man. Okay, we've got our determiner, the, and our noun, man, and then we've got our adjectives in there. Okay, I'm going to give you one of the noun phrases, see if you can spot the other one. The noun phrase there is his lunch. Okay, we've got our determiner and our noun, his lunch. Can you find the other one? Really? Brilliant, all coming through there now. I thought the clue might help you out there. Well done, Imogen. Well done, Jen. Well done. If these are someone else's login, I apologise. I'm just seeing the names I can see. Well done, Kiwi. Well done, Freya. Oh, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is there. Okay, it is his office. Most people got that one. We've got his there. That's our determiner. And then we've got office, which is our noun. Okay, so that is our noun phrases and expanded noun phrases. When you're doing your work on this, because obviously we're going to look at another type of phrase there now. I'm just checking time. Okay. When you look at other phrases, okay, remember, if you've forgot something or you need just a little recap while you're doing the work, this video will be on YouTube, so you can go, you can watch it again. And it might give you a hand when you're doing that work. So now, what we're going to look at is, lastly, is prepositional phrases. Okay, again, complicated sort of thing for something that's not complicated at all. Okay, we're going to look at one of the main rules of prepositional phrases. There are a couple of other ones, but we're not going to look at those now. We're looking at the main ones that you will use them for the most time. So, a prepositional phrase is basically a phrase, no verbs. Repeating it again, no verbs. Okay, it's a small group of words with no verbs, okay, that has a preposition in. So what we need to know is, what is a preposition? Okay, so have a think now. Do you know what a preposition is? Can you remember? And I'm writing the word on for a reason. Have a look at the word, okay? And I always write this on. Anytime I talk about prepositions, is I'll always put these on. So for the main order of prepositions, if you can remember, the word I always put on board is because I look at this word in it, position. We know what position means, it's where something is. So preposition is a word that tells us where something is. So we could have the car outside, okay? I'm going to write a couple of sentences down in your head or in the chat, up to you. Can you think of which ones the prepositions are? You played inside. We danced beside the window. And last one, the boy in front of them. 4 questions? Really? Okay. So, preposition is a word that tells us where it is. So, in the first word, have a think. Which one's a preposition? Yeah, obvious, outside. So the car, we've got it's a noun phrase, isn't it? The car, determiner, noun. The car outside tells us where the car is, so that's our preposition. He played inside. Where's your preposition there? It's inside. Okay, telling us where he played inside. Okay. Next one, a little bit more tricky. Okay. Have a think what I've just said that we're looking at. Okay, we're looking at prepositions, prepositional phrases. What do you think the preposition is there? Okay, if we look there, beside. But what's important about this one, what you might be thinking is, beside doesn't work on its own. So I can't say we danced beside. You need some more information in order to tell us. We need, it's the full thing, isn't it? Beside the window, that's where we're dancing. And we'll be dancing on Friday at the disco. Everyone there? That sentence, same again. So have a look. What do you think the preposition is there? And what does it need to work with it? Now, a lot of you might say front of them, okay? But it's in front of them, okay? All that together. So these ones, if you haven't realised already, those are our prepositional phrases. Look, it's a small group of words, there's no verb, and there's a preposition in there, beside, in, okay? So prepositional phrases like an adverbial phrase, which you'll have looked at before, okay? So an adverb is one word, an adverbial phrase is a phrase that has an adverb in it and works together, okay? So this is a phrase, beside the window, that works together. It sort of works like one little unit of that sentence, okay? But it does the job of a preposition. It tells us where they're dancing. We danced beside the window. The boy in front of them, okay? So they work together in order to do that, okay? Remember, no verbs. So what I'm going to do with this one, okay, I'll leave those on. I'll take these off because they just have a preposition there. Okay. I'm going to give you two sentences. Well, I'll give you one first. We'll start off, we'll see how we get on. And then you might be able to use some other people's. He played. Okay. What I want you to do, okay, is to add a prepositional phrase onto the end there. So, something like beside the window, in front of them. Have a think of your own ones. Put them in the comments, okay? If you're unsure, okay, if you think, Mr. Biggins, you're as clear as mud, I don't know what you're talking about, just wait a little bit, have a look at the chat, see what other people are putting in, then maybe have a go, okay? And if not, you have a go on the second one once I've said a couple out. So let's see which ones that you are coming up with. Okay, I've got he played outside is a good one, but that's just a preposition. Remember, we need a prepositional phrase. Okay, so you might have he played outside the school. Outside the school works together. So remember, prepositional phrase is a group of words. Okay, I've got one that says in front. In front of what? In front doesn't work on its own. Okay. He played next to the tree. Well done, Anna. Really good one there. Some people just put in prepositions. Remember, we're looking for prepositional phrases. He played on top of the mountain. Great one. He played outside the house, in the field. What else have we got? In the garden, in front of his garden gnome. Thanks for that one. Next to his garden bench. He played on Fortnite. That one works, yeah. Under the tree, with his friends, really good ones. Okay, some really good ones there. So if you didn't get one that time, if you were still a bit unsure, have a go at this next sentence. Can you add one to, let's have a look. They ran. Okay, so we'll leave that one off now. So they ran. Can you add a prepositional phrase? Remember, a group of words. So we can't just have he ran underneath, he ran outside, he ran inside. Okay, we need a group of words. Okay, so he ran underneath the bridge. Okay, there's mine. See if you can come up with better. I'm sure you can, because I know mine's normally terrible. Okay, let's have a look. Around the park, brilliant one. Next to the road. Outside in the rain, like that one. Into the park. Just tell us where they're running into the park. Great one. Let's have a look. To his mum. I like that one. And I've added an adverb in there, quickly to his mum. Okay, so you've had an adverb there that wouldn't be part of the prepositional phrase, but to his mum would be. Okay. In the tree house next to the woodlight. That's a really long one. I like that one. Outside of his house. To a toilet. Okay. To the water park, down a steep hill, around the track, with a dog. To the shop to get toilet roll. I like that one. Very on topic. Around the track. Okay. Into the deep, dark, creepy woods. Okay. Some really, really good ones there. Someone's really trying. What I would say with that one, if you're doing your writing, creative writing or anything like that, make big ones, add them things on. If you add extra things that aren't part of your prepositional phrase, that's okay. You're not going to get judged for that. However, if you're doing a test and it says add a prepositional phrase, don't try to get too fancy. And I always say this in tests. If you want to do a prepositional phrase, just pick a simple one. Okay, so I wrote beside the window there. Choose a one like that. Don't say beside the gorgeous glass window with a picture of, because the more that you put on, the more likely that you are going to add different things that aren't part of a prepositional phrase, and you wouldn't get the marks. Okay, so when you're doing your writing, brilliant, put those things in. It'll really, really improve your writing, make it brilliant. But when you're doing a test, always go for the simplest. The more things that you try to do in a test, or especially a SPAG test, it tends to just give you more opportunities to make a little bit of a mistake. So leave that one. Okay, so same as we did with the noun phrases, what I'm going to put up on the board there now is I'm going to put up a sentence. And this sentence, oh, drop my pen. This sentence is going to have two prepositional phrases in. Okay, so the children walked towards the castle and were, again, same thing in the chat. You might see some before I even finish the sentence. Okay, there are two prepositional phrases going to be in this sentence. Can you spot them? Remember, prepositional phrase is a group of words, so not just one word I'm looking for. Okay, so there's two in there. So no verb, small group of words. Okay, has to have a preposition in there. Can you spot them? So I don't just want the preposition, I want the full sentence as well. Let's have a look, see if anyone is spotting them. See, I've got some people there putting the preposition. So some people have said inside, that's what prepositional phrases, because we need a small group of words. You might have got preposition, so there could be one around it, so have a look. And someone's got it there. And say, brilliant. Two people have got them. I can see there as, oh, I think someone's a little bit later. I apologise if there's a bit of lag on some of your computers. Seems to be working well for most people. I apologise for that. Nearly 200 people. Hello everyone. Again, someone putting inside there. Inside is a preposition. Well done, you've spotted that one. But we're looking for a prepositional phrase, so it's a group of words. So what goes with that inside? Okay. Got someone saying the castle there. The castle is a noun phrase and a determiner and a noun. Okay. So what goes that way? We need a preposition in there. I'll give you a clue. You're on the right tracks, but we need a little bit more in there. Apologies if you can hear knocking. I think there's a delivery getting dropped off. Brilliant. So let's have a look at the two of them now and see quite a few people are getting it now. We have, let's go with orange. We haven't got any orange yet. Determined to throw that red pen away. We have towards the castle. Okay. Towards is our preposition. No verbs in there. Okay. Towards is one of those prepositions where it doesn't really work on its own. If I just said the children walk towards, we haven't got anything in there, it doesn't make sense, does it? Okay, so we need to have something else with them. So someone said the castle, they were just missing the preposition at the start, so you were really, really close. And the next one is inside its huge doors. Now this one's a little bit different because we could just say they were determined to see inside. That would work, wouldn't it? It would be preposition, it would still make sense. But when we put it together with its huge doors, it becomes a prepositional phrase. So inside its huge doors, okay? So there are some prepositions that you have to have as prepositional phrases, okay? So like towards is a perfect example. But there are a lot of them that can have both. So you could have he ran around, but then you could have he ran around the garden, okay? One's a preposition, one's a prepositional phrase, okay? So well done at that one. What I'm going to say, main things that you need to remember, okay, with noun phrases. With noun phrases, a determiner, a noun, okay. What you're going to be looking at in the work is some expanded noun phrases. So you're going to have that determiner, you're going to have that noun, but you're also going to have some description around it. So some adjectives, maybe a prepositional phrase afterwards. So before I mentioned those prepositional phrases, after sentences, so the dark gloomy castle with huge windows, or outside the park, okay, I've got a prepositional phrase afterwards. That's your noun phrases. No verbs. Prepositional phrase, okay, it's a phrase, small group of words, has a preposition in there, and no verb again, okay. So that's the lesson for today. Now I'll explain a little bit more in detail how the work's going to work after this, okay, because we'll be in the first lesson. So in the description, there should be a link for a Padlet, okay. Padlet's just it's like a web page, really, okay. And there's a lot of hard work went from all the other teachers, okay, less so from me because I'm doing this stuff. So you need to thank those teachers that worked really, really hard with that. Have to say that or Mrs. Carthy will kill me. So there's loads of work on there. The full week of work is on there. Now, like I said earlier, it's not about doing all the work, it's about doing as much of that as you can, okay? Trust me, doing all this work is really going to keep you ready for your going back to school, keep you up to date, okay? It might seem at the minute that you're not at school and this is great and you get more time to do this, more time with your family, which is brilliant, okay? But there's going to time to go back to school, and if you don't do anything, you're likely to fall a little bit behind the other people, and we don't want that, okay? So don't worry if you can't get all the work done, okay? I know there's worries out there who'll be thinking, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, okay? But the full week of work will go up at the start of the week. So if you think, right, I can't do anything on Tuesday, you might think, oh, I'll do my English work for Tuesday now, okay? So on that Padlet, you will see that there will be highlighted little things where it says when my live lessons are. So on the Monday one, they'll be highlighted 10 AM, Mr. B, live lesson. Obviously you've been along, so that's brilliant. Underneath there will be 2 worksheets that go along with the work. First one is a worksheet, second one is the answer, okay? I'm not going to be over your shoulder this time, your parents might be, okay? But download the questions one, have a go at it, have a look, check your answers on the answer page. The last sheet doesn't have answers because you need to think of your own phrases, okay? So you can't really have answers with those. What you can do though, if you want any help, remember what I said, put it in the comments, and we'll be able to have a look at those. So put any help you need in the comments. What you can also do as well, if you want us to check any work, okay, or you're proud of your work or anything like that, you can send it to us, okay? So on the Padlet, all the way on the right, there will be a comment section where you can ask for help. There'll be a section where if there's any work that you're proud of, or work that you want us to check, you can put it up there, and myself and the other teachers, we'll all check that, okay? What you can also do as well is my socials, so my Facebook, my Instagram and Twitter, they're all Mr. Biggins123. If you want to send me any pictures of your work or anything like that, you can send them through those as well, and I will get back to them as well, okay? So they are up for you. Now, what I've also done today is once you finish those worksheets and you think you're confident, if you're not confident, maybe go back over them, have a look, watch the video again, watch the different parts. Okay. If you're not if you're confident, I've also made what's called a Kahoot. Some of you might use them before, but it's a great website where we can create little quizzes, little tests, that type of things, and you can do stuff there. That link is underneath the Padlet one in the description as well. Okay, you can either click on the link in the description, or you can go to Kahoot, kahoot.it. You can go on your phone, iPad, laptop, computer, whatever you want to go on that, and there's a little number there as well. Okay, if I have a look, I'll tell you what the number is. Let's have a look. The number is 065681514. It's easy just to get it from the description. When you log on to kahoot.it, it'll ask for that number, put that in, okay, and there'll be questions that you can do linked to this lesson as well. And you do them and it'll tell you whether you got them right or wrong. Little test that I've made, okay, so you can test how well you've got it there. Okay, and I'm going to go back to make sure I mention everything I need to. Don't rush to do those things. The Kahoot's going to be there for a full week up until the next lesson, so you don't have to do it today if you want a little bit more practice with it. There's work also for English for the rest of the week up there. My live lessons will be on different subjects throughout the week, but there is more English work for throughout the week. So if you want to have a look at that, you want to download that, that's fine, okay? And we know some of you don't have printers now, so you don't have to print off the worksheets, anything like that. If you're just writing your answers on paper and stuff like that, whatever works for you, okay? I know some of you will have brilliant workbooks and things like that made anyway, because I know what some of you are like, okay? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stay here. I might not be on the camera, but I might keep jumping up and down. I'm going to keep refreshing the comments. If you're having to go to work, I'll basically be on for as long as my battery will last. Okay, as long as my battery lasts on my phone. If you need any help, you can put them on. I can come up and maybe answer questions on the board while I'm here. Okay, remember, chat if you want to talk to your friends, brilliant. Keep social. Okay, keep in contact with your friends through this nightmare of a time. Okay, that's the main thing. But comments, use those please, if you need any help, or comment on the Padlet. So I'm going to stay here. Anyone needs any help, I can jump up and I can give you a hand. If you're re-watching this stream because you couldn't get along, or if you're just re-watching this because you want to do some work on in the distant future, okay, and you want to do some work on prepositional phrases or expanded noun phrases, okay, there's my social sites. You can send me a message on there or anything like that, and if I can help, I will, okay. I hope that helped everyone, okay. It's great to see lots of you talking together. It's great to see you all doing some work, okay. And you know, it's been a real hard time, not just for us, okay, for you guys, for your parents as well. So this work, okay, that you're doing at the minute, get those worksheets, have a go at it. Please use us first. Let your parents have a bit of time off. Let them get on with the work that they need to do. Okay, ask us. We'll try and give you that hand, give you a little bit of help, okay. And just to let you know, myself, and this is from all the other teachers as well, St. Bennett's not just my area, we are really missing all you guys, okay, so we can't wait till we can get back into school and we can see you, okay, so go on, have a go at the work, and I'll be staying around here for as long as my battery lasts, okay. I know you're saying Mr. Biggin's put it on charge, but my charge port's broke, so I can't charge it up properly when it's in the camera holder, okay. So I'll stay here. Any help, just let me know. I'll just be sitting down here, I'm not gone, so don't talk behind my back. Right, someone's asked for the Kahoot number on the board. I'm going to put it up, but remember, have a go at the worksheets first, please. Okay, because they will make sure that you understand it more before you have a go. But I will put it up there, and of course it is in the description. So if you just go to kahoot.it and then 065685114. No. Right, okay guys, I'm going to end the stream there. Phone's on its last legs. So hope it helped. And like I said, if you need any help, comments on the Padlet, comments on my social sites, and comments on the video. Comments on the video will be the best. Those are ones I'm going to be checking the most at the minute. So I'll still be around on the computer checking the comments. So if you need any help, let us know. We'll help you out as much as we can. Okay. Thanks for coming, and hopefully see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock again. Brilliant.